What's up YouTube? This is Victor on the Let Me Explain show, and today we're going to be looking at this wrist blood pressure monitor by HYLOGY. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. At this point, I'd just like to thank HYLOGY for sending me this product to test it out. Now, I must preempt that I don't suffer from high blood pressure, so this is just going to be a technical review where I look at the product's functionality and also its built and how easy it is to read to a layman. So basically, I'm just looking at it as a very layman with no experience of using a blood pressure monitor, but I want to see if it's usable, if the usability is friendly. So we're gonna get right into it and review it. So right out of the box, it's got this pretty solid case that it comes in, storage case, pretty easy to open, and that's the product right there. Before we even put the batteries in, let's check. I really love the tactile feel it has. It has a really nice tactile feel to it, and the strap is Velcro, and it has this springy metal feel to it, which I like also. It feels very sturdy. So I haven't put the batteries in. I just want to feel. So I like how it clings onto the hand before I even strap on the Velcro. So there we go. Yeah, this is a bit of an issue for me because that flap is already coming out onto the top. So I wish it was a bit shorter, but actually you can fold it in like so, and then just have that come there. So I retract. That's not an issue. So that's how it would look. It would look like a really badly designed smartwatch, but that's a joke. It looks fine. You don't have to wear it all the time. All right, so that's the product as it looks out of the box without the batteries in yet. So what I'm going to do is actually put in the batteries and try to figure it out before I read the manual, just to see if it's a layman's point of view. How far do you go? If it's a lay person's point of view, excuse my language, how far would you go? So before I do that, I'd also like to comment about the glass is pretty solid. It's not a flimsy plastic as some products would be, and it's so I'm trying to figure out how to do the batteries. So it's over here. Slide that. Compared to the thermometers, this does feel a little light in the hand, the battery case cover, I mean, but it's not such a big deal. And this is your plastic to retrieve the battery, so don't yank this out. You will need this later, this piece of plastic. Obviously, if you've used batteries before, you'd know. So the instructions are right here on how the batteries go. I was going to do the batteries off screen, but I decided to do them on screen because it's a bit tricky putting the batteries in. So what I've discovered is if you load it first like that, almost like straight in, and then you lean it down, so that's the first battery that goes to the bottom, then you push it in, make sure the plastic is under it, and then the second battery goes on top. That's the easier one to put in. Oopsie. Not as easy as I thought it would be, but we'll get there. There we go. So our batteries are in. We'll put over our cap. Yep. And so it starts off with the clock. You've got a clock on top, so you can set the time, and I guess that will be a way to monitor your blood pressure as you go. And there it is. It's ready to go. One thing I don't like is it doesn't seem to be backlit. So let's see. All right, so it's got DIA. I'm not okay. It's actually going. It's actually going. So I don't have it on my wrist, and it's already recording an error, which I think is what it should do. So now I'm gonna put it on my wrist and see how. Oopsie, how that works. So that didn't work too well the first time around. Gets a little takes a little getting used to. So I'm gonna pull that right over. I'm not sure how tight I'm supposed to make it. So now I've got it on my wrist and we're gonna give it another try. So power it on. I can feel the pressure in my arm. I see, oh, ow. Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm saying wow because the pressure, I can really feel the pressure of it. It's pretty impressive how much pressure it gives you. Okay, that's a bit dramatic. It's not painful, but I can definitely feel the pressure. Now it's releasing. I can feel the release of the pressure as it goes down. Wow. I didn't expect that from such a small thing powered by 2 AAA batteries, but it does really feel like the one they use in the hospital. I can feel the pressure is really strong. So it says it recorded an error again. I'm not sure why it recorded an error. So what I'll do is I'll give it one more try. So it looks like the first mistake I made was I put it on top of my wrist instead of my inner wrist. So now we're gonna take a look at how to change the user. So if I press the power button, the time button, the user starts to blink. Then if I press the memory button, I can select which one I want. And once I've selected the one I want, then you just press the power button once and then you're set. So we'll go through that again. To select the user, so this can be used between 2 people. Say for example me and my partner are using the same machine. So you press the power button for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. And then the user starts to blink. Then you go to your memory. If you're user 1, then you can go ahead and press the power button. But if you're user 2, you press the memory, and then it switches to user 2, and then you press the power button. But I'm gonna leave it at user 1 and then press the power button. Alright, so that's how you change the user. Alright, so I think that's pretty much all there is to it. It's a pretty easy gadget to use, but I recommend you go through the user manual because it's got the error messages that might pop up, and it's good to that you become familiar with what's going on with the gadget, especially when it comes to the strap. I think that's the most important part, because if it's too loose, then it won't give you a good reading. If it's too tight, it also won't give you a good reading. So just go through your manual, give it a couple of tries, become familiar with it, and I think you'll be good to go. I figured it out within less than 10 minutes, and it's pretty easy to. Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll be surprised at how much pressure this thing actually exerts on your arm, and I'm pretty impressed by it so far. So I'm just gonna let it do this final reading, and then we can carry on with the rest of the video. So it's not heavy at all, and while it's doing its reading, I'm just gonna give you the dimensions, which you can find in the manual. But since we're on camera now, we might as well do that. So the dimensions are 13.5 to 21 centimeters. So it's a pretty small gadget, and the screen itself is 40. The visible screen is 43.8 by 34 millimeters. 1, 2, 3. Thanks so much for watching this video on the blood pressure monitor provided by HYLOGY, and I hope you found it useful. This was just a first impressions video on how the device works, and just to test to see its user friendliness. And I will do a more in-depth video on its features and more testing as I go along. So expect more videos to come through about this device. But if you own one and you have questions about it that you'd like me to look into, I'm certainly happy to look into those questions for you for about the device. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and once again, thanks to HYLOGY for providing this device for me to be able to review. Until the next video, this is Victor on the Let Me Explain show. Have a great day.